There were many railways a long time ago, and each railway had many engines. They were all very happy and lived on the railways for many years. Some were goods engines and some were passenger engines. They all worked hard and in harmony. But soon up-to-date diesels had become accommodated and engines were being thrown in the scrap line. It was a sad, sad sight. As the reformed railway, British Railway, had more plans in store for the steam engines. The steam engines were still working, but they all knew that in a few years or months, they would all be taken off. One engine in particular would not stand for this. Some engines were sad to see others go, as they were very good friends, and when they saw that their friend was going to get melted into new parts, they were sickened from the inside. They were so angry, they felt betrayed by the British Railways. And there was one engine in particular from all of these engines who was angry the most. And he was known as 895264 was his number. But he was known as Ivan. Or in other words, the Black Shadow. Each day as he pulled his trains, he would call out to the other engines, "We will not stand for this diesel revolution. We shall defeat the others." Engines would always listen to him as they believed he was right. But some were smart enough to not listen, including one named Mary. She believed that they should work in harmony. But the other engines told her that each day more and more engines were getting melted down, and it was only a matter of time before they were gone. Mary still refused to listen to this until she would be scrapped. Some engines would run away, but others were not so lucky. One cold night, it was very dark. Ivan was getting ready to pull a passenger train, an express train. So many people had come to this event. They all sat, though some complained about how it was a steam engine, though they still got in. Some left, however. Ivan was very angry, as the manager told him, "In a few weeks' time, you shall be scrapped. I am very sorry." But he knew that the manager wasn't. All managers seemed to have changed by British Railway. They had been hypnotized and brought into the modern world, no longer loving the steam engines like they used to. But that night, Ivan had a plan to get back at everyone who hated them, the steam engines. As the manager needed to go to an important meeting, this would be the perfect opportunity for Ivan to strike his cue. It seemed that the Black Shadow had a plan. No one knows quite how it happened, and it seemed it was not Ivan's fault either. The points had been faulty for many days, but luckily they would always be able to fix it. But one day, night, the signalman was trying to switch the lever, but something or someone was blocking it. The points were stuck in the middle. There was no preventing it. It was already too late. Oh no! Watch out! Watch out! Watch! Everything was a mess. Not only was it bad that there was a crash, but every single one of Ivan's passengers died. Every single one. Not just the passengers, not just the guard, but even the manager who had been riding on the train to get to the mainland interview. And now it was all destroyed. The coach's windows were smashed open. Blood was dripping everywhere. The insides looked horrific. You could see the horrific fear and faces on the children. Some even had something going through their face. Some of them were smashed into the seat, and some of them were just sitting there like a normal passenger would. Everything was a mess. Mark's tender was completely unharmed. Ivan's tender, was completely unharmed. But Ivan, his face was completely blown off. He was practically killed on impact, and now his face was destroyed, mangled, gone. The points were completely mangled. Each part of the points were destroyed. The sleepers were gone, the ballast was spilled, the metal framings was gone. The mess was soon cleaned up. It was now the modern years. Now Ivan and all his friends were gone. Diesels were now running the area where steam used to be. But one night, it was psychotically dark. Not a bird chirping, not a cloud in the sky, not even the moon was that big. It did not light up or illuminate the sky that night. A diesel was running a passenger train until there was a red signal and he was forced to stop at the points. Then there was a whistle. It drifted through the air, oh so hell-like. It sounded so frightening and chilling. Even the diesel himself was trembling. And then it was struck. There he was, Ivan, looking as evil as ever, his eyes bloody red, and his mouth was bleeding with red blood. His eyebrows were running down and had an evil look. He was smiling evilly with sharp teeth starting to form out. It was all so psychotic. And there he was, looking at the diesel. You replaced our design, and now you will go to hell! The diesel and driver and second driver had been horrified. The newspaper claimed that they were very horrified, and the passengers were too. But unfortunately, that has not been known. As sadly, they and the passengers had never lived to tell the tale.